We have no apologies. Are there any declarations of interest?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I was going to ask permission to hold the City Deal project item, which was scheduled for the half-2 meeting, if we could discuss that at the first meeting, if we can agree to that first of all. Is that okay with everybody? Yeah. And the other question I was going to ask maybe of Peter, and I don't know the legalities with this or not, but I mean, I'm led to believe that none of the maintained objectors are going to be at the 1 o'clock meeting or the 2:30 meeting. And that being the case, is there a problem legally with us just holding one meeting starting now at 1 o'clock and just discussing the agenda items on both papers? I'll take advice from the legal side of this. Peter?
Yes, so for your first question regarding holding everything just now, because we've got an advertised meeting at 2:30, and we may have objectors who decide they want to attend, or we may have press who want to attend for that item, we would need to stick to our 2:30 time frame for that, just to keep us beyond the risk of challenge. The one point regarding both the meetings is they are in effect quasi-judicial. So if we lose connectivity with any of the members during the discussion of the TRO item, not necessarily the City Deal item here, we would need to pause the meeting until we got that connectivity back, or they would not be able to participate in decision making there. And just one final point, I think Stuart had clarified the urgency around the additional item is in relation to meeting timelines for the City Deal, City Deal's own committee structure. Is that correct, Stuart? Yeah. Just that we need to keep a note of that for the justification of the additional item here. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me, convener. Could I just clarify with Alan MacDonald? Councillor Brooks has got a. I don't know if it's a little. I think it might have gone now. It looked as if he'd lost connectivity. Can you check that? Is Councillor Brooks actually connected to the meeting, Alan?
Let me just check.
No, he's back now. He's back. I think he's here now. It's just because it is quasi-judicial. We need to be sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I'm precious in what order we do this this particular meeting. Do you want to take the City Deal item first? Is that okay? Thumbs up if that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Stuart, do you want to lead off on this?
Sorry. So one point, we would need to go into private session then for the purpose of the City Deal item.
Right. Okay. Peter, can I just clarify? We've not got an objector coming with regards to the maintained objections to the waiting restrictions. No.
No, we don't. No.
No.
So we just check with no press in the room, so to speak.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. If we can move on to the roads issues, we've been in public consultation with regards to quite a few different roads, waiting restrictions and traffic orders, and we've got a maintained objection with regards to Mackenzie Street in Greenock. Now, as I said earlier, the objector is not going to be present at the meeting, but we've still got to get through the process. So we don't need to obviously introduce each other, but I'll maybe ask Peter to just maybe get through what the process is going to be here. I'm presuming Peter will still be bringing in roads officers to talk us through the proposed action plan. Okay. I think you're on, Peter.
There we are. Apologies. I'll run through what the normal run would be, and I will point out the bits that will therefore be different when we don't have any other objectors actually in the meeting. So the rules of procedure are designed to create the right atmosphere for discussion and to reduce formalities and give everyone a fair hearing. It's a discussion led by you, convener, who's also referred to as the chair here. And the parties entitled to be heard would be the councillors, the Roads Authority, who obviously are in the meeting, and the objectors. In this case, the objector is not here. The members will have seen the report that's been circulated in advance of this meeting, which details the objection and correspondence between council officers and the objector. So as a first step, we would allow the roads officers to make their case in light of the objections, up to a maximum of 5 minutes. We would then ordinarily allow the objector to speak, the roads officers to reply to any comments the objectors make, and finally for the objectors to wind up. So in this instance, unless you have further questions you want to raise with the roads officers, we'd only have the roads officers speak once. The committee can then ask questions of the roads officers if they wish to, and at that point the hearing section is over. We would move into private session to then deliberate on the matter and come back into public session to give a decision.
Okay, thanks very much, Peter. Okay, I can see from the screen that we've got a plethora of roads officials present here. So is it Gordon? Are you going to talk us through this, Gordon?
Yeah, that's correct. So we first of all received a request from the owners of the Capello Industrial Estate that their businesses were having access and egress problems getting into Mackenzie Street from the trunk road. So I've actually witnessed it myself that a large vehicle getting in can't get in because of the parked cars, because there's parked cars down both sides of the street in Mackenzie Street. So the proposals are to put no waiting, no loading restrictions, basically from the A8 to in line with the first junction into in the industrial estate. Now that's the access into Dewsons. That was the ones that were having the major problems with. We're also going to put restrictions on the second road in the industrial estate. Now, at the moment, the majority of those units are lying empty, but this is to future-proof it. So we're basically putting the minimum amount of restrictions in, still trying to leave as much parking as possible within the industrial estate, but whilst allowing access and egress for the larger vehicles. And that's all I've got to say in it.
Okay, Gordon, thanks very much for that. We got any questions for Gordon? No? Okay, so we've been asked to 3.41 to
Sorry,
dismiss the
convener,
objection.
you've got questions from Councillor Brooks and from Councillor McCabe.
Sorry, I missed that. Sorry, Councillor Brooks.
Thanks very much, Convener. Just a clarification from roads. There is a number of one's a vehicle repair, one's a vehicle wash. Queuing traffic to enter those premises. I'm obviously not an expert in the Roads Act. So queuing traffic on those premises, is that affected with the TRO we're putting in place?
If their units are within the body of the site, then no, it shouldn't. I can't tell you exactly where the units are, but if they're within the body of the site, then no, it shouldn't. But again, you shouldn't be queuing on a road blocking traffic, because that's an offence.
It's an offence, but it's not an offence as a TRO. It would be a police matter as opposed to a parking issue matter.
Yeah, that's correct, Councillor Brooks. Yeah.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Convener.
Okay, Stephen.
Yeah, thanks, Convener. I mean, the proposals from the Roads Authority seem perfectly sensible to me. I mean, I know that location. I'm sure everybody knows it pretty well, and it is a busy location. But the person who has raised the objection, I don't get a sense of raising the objection in principle to the proposals. They've raised an objection because they're concerned about the impact that the SNP van is having on the availability of on-street parking. And I think the response from the Roads Authority essentially is that's a matter for licensing. But my question is there anything that we can do as a council, combine Roads Authority licence, etc., to try and address the issues that have been raised by the objector?
Councillor McCabe. So we do look at the applications when they come in. Roads do get consulted on it, and at the time we didn't see an issue with it. Now these licences, I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you how. Say it's 3 years. They come up every 2 or 3 years for renewal. So we will look at it the next time it's up for renewal, to see if there's anything else we can do.
I mean, just to follow that up, convener, the objection seems to be not necessarily to the principle of having a snack van there, although the objector is suggesting it would be better located in McDougall Street. But the objector is also suggesting that the owner of the snack van puts out quite a number of cones that then restrict parking at that location. So my question, I suppose, is what authority does the owner of the snack van have to put out cones? It's fine having the snack van park, which essentially obviously would take up a space or two, but to put out cones then further restricts the availability of parking. Does the owner of the snack van have permission to put cones out to that extent that's indicated by the objector?
They don't have permission to put the cones out. Any time I've been there, I've never seen these cones. But I will take a note of it, and we'll carry out any action. If the cones need to be removed, then we'll remove them. They shouldn't be leaving cones so that their patrons have got a space to park. So no, I'll take that on board and we'll action it.
Okay, thanks for that.
I have to say, Gordon, I've been to the site myself, and I've never seen cones next to the snack bar. Anybody else want to come in? Sorry, I missed the chat there. Anybody else want to come in? No. Okay. So the recommendations were asked either to dismiss the objection, or uphold in whole or part the objection.
Yeah.
Peter, you want to go through that?
Sorry, just one quick point. So, if there's going to be deliberation on it, if we can just go back into private session just now, but I don't think we have anybody in who needs to
want to come in? No, I don't think anybody else wants to come in, Peter. You could maybe just sum up for us.
Okay, so your options are then to consider the objection that has been made, and either to dismiss the objection and approve the TRO as detailed within the report, and referring it to the next meeting of Inverclyde Council, recommending that it be formally approved, and then thereafter remit to the head of roads, environmental services, and the now interim head of legal to arrange for its implementation, or alternative to uphold in whole or in part the objection and remit it back to roads officers to amend the terms of the proposal and deal with that within the statutory process.
Okay.
Vera, I have to move 0.41 to dismiss.
Okay. I'm happy to kind of second that as well. Peter, anybody otherwise minded on this? No. Okay. Thanks very much. Okay, for the rest of this particular committee, we've got waiting restrictions and travel regulation orders, which have already been out for public consultation. Gail, is there anything else that you want to add to any of the items on the paper?
No, nothing to add.
Sorry, convener, is that the items in the next paper, the meetings for the papers for the next meeting, rather, that you're referring to?
No, this is the 1 o'clock meeting, Peter.
No, I think that's your two items dealt with.
You're right. As I was saying, I thought we were going to be doing both these at one time. So it's okay. We're happy to agree recommendations.
Great.
Yeah, and we'll be reconvening at 2:30.
Convener, could I intimate my apologies for the 2:30 meeting? Unfortunately, I'm going to pick my son up from school, but could I wish the committee well in your deliberations?
Yeah, thanks very much for that, Stephen. We'll take that on board. Okay. Okay, everyone, thanks very much. We'll see you all at 2:30. Okay. Cheers. Bye now.